The primary function of teeth is to grasp and hold the food in the mouth cavity. They are also modified to serve as a grinding mill for chewing the food. With the help of the teeth, tongue and jaw movements, food is chewed and mixed with saliva in the mouth. The mouth leads to a funnel-shaped pharynx which continues into a long muscular tube, esophagus. The esophagus is a 22 to 25 centimeter long, narrow, muscular tubular structure. It runs downward through the neck behind the trachea and opens in the stomach in the abdomen. The swallowed food is propelled towards the stomach through the esophagus by the movements of its muscular wall. These movements are called peristalsis. The stomach is a large, muscular and somewhat J-shaped sac. It occupies the left side of the upper part of the abdominal cavity. The upper part of the stomach is called the cardiac or fundus. The middle dome-shaped part is the body, and the distal part is called the pyloric or antrum. The stomach thus has two ends: the cardiac end, where it receives esophagus, and the pyloric end, where it opens into the duodenum. The stomach has two curvatures, the greater curvature at the left and the lesser curvature at the right side. The mucous membrane of the stomach is thick and it is thrown into numerous longitudinal folds called rugae when stomach is empty. In distended stomach, these folds are not seen. There are numerous glands that exist in the stomach, which are called gastric glands. The muscles on the stomach wall churn and mix the food with the gastric juice. They also help in propelling the food to the small intestine through the pyloric end. Small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal, about 6 meters in length. It is narrow, tubular and occupies the central and lower parts of the abdominal cavity. It is divided into 3 regions, namely duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Duodenum is the first part of the small intestine. It looks somewhat like the alphabet C. The ducts conveying pancreatic juice as well as the duct carrying bile open in the duodenum. The duodenum opens into the jejunum, which is about 2.5 meters long. The ileum is the longest part of the small intestine and it opens in the cecum, in the lower part of the abdominal cavity. Both ileum and jejunum are highly coiled structures. Inner mucosa of small intestine is raised into millions of minute finger-like projections called villi. A villus is about 0.5 to 1 millimeter long. Its free surfaces have numerous electron microscopic evaginations called microvilli. They form a brush border. Both villi and microvilli increase the surface area for digestion and absorption of food. All the 3 parts of the small intestine have tube-like glands in their walls. These glands secrete intestinal juice into the intestinal lumen. The muscles on the intestinal wall churn, knead and crush the food, Mix it with intestinal juices and propel it towards the large intestine by contractions. The digested products are mostly absorbed by the small intestine. The ileum opens into the large intestine, which is much shorter and wider than the small intestine. It does not possess villi or brush-bordered cells. It is distinguished into three regions, namely cecum, colon and rectum. Cecum is a small pouch-like structure which ends into a tubular part called vermiform appendix. Both cecum and vermiform appendix are vestigial in function and are not involved in digestion. Colon is a long sacculated structure which is differentiated into ascending colon, extending up to the liver on the right side. Transverse colon which crosses the abdominal cavity below the pancreas. Descending colon running downward on the left side. And the pelvic colon which is S-shaped and continues into the rectum. Rectum is slightly dilated and about 13 centimeters long. It opens outside by anus and is guarded by two anal sphincter muscles. The larger intestine does not secrete enzymes and plays only a minor role in the absorption of nutrients. It stores unabsorbed food remnants temporarily and also concentrates the contents of absorbing water to form feces. The movements of colon help to void feces through anus.